What is up, everyone? This is Spire Fan. We just got back from the February 2025 in-person monthly. Had a lot of fun. Shoutouts to Brian. He's a new player that's planning to show up next month, and you can see him right here. He was able to kind of craft a deck from leftovers I brought in a small box, and he did pretty well. He played Volcarona, Torkoal, and then he did pretty well against Colin. They kind of did an exhibition as he got used to the format. I played Flareon, and I look forward to having him back hopefully next month. But that being said, we have a 3 out of 5 set with me and K Willie, so let's get right to it. So round 1, I start Kyogre going first, and I use Drizzle to attach 2 water to Kyogre, and then 1 water to Squirtle. K Willie responds. He is playing Golem, Avalugg, and Palossand. I am playing Kyogre, Blastoise, Wishy-Washy. I go to Primal Kyogre. I want a fast knockout here. He plays the Grant with the Golem level X, trying to press both offense and defense here. I get the Blastoise out, Mantine evolving from Mantike, so I get power circulation, and I'm able to put a bunch of water on Wishy-Washy, and if the defending Pokemon's an EX, its last attack just auto knocks them out. So that's game 1 to me. Game 2, I start Galarian Darumaka versus his Regirock. He's able to kind of ramp up some energy on his board going first. I almost attached DCE to Darumaka, but I remembered that all the Regi trio from Hoenn have anti-EX attacks, so I have to be really careful there. I play Lake Acuity, which does benefit us both, but I do see that Regirock's kind of ready to go, so I definitely take some precaution with some defense there. But, I played it at first for my defense, and then, I realized, it benefits him too, but it's still, in my opinion, worth it in this scenario, especially as I'm trying to set up. And then we see Sandslash on the bench. I think at this point, Sandslash might be K Willie's favorite Pokemon. He plays Sandslash in almost every deck, whether it's the regular or Alolan form. I play Punt, and what you see there when I take 5 cards off the top, I'm using Darmanitan's first attack, which you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, flip for each energy 50 times, and then for each tails, you put a damage counter on all your opponent's EX. So I get the Blastoise loaded, DCE 2 water. Setting up my board here, I am playing Delcatty, which also has power circulation. I go for Mega Blastoise. I get the double launcher, which originally does 70, but because of the Mega Launcher ability, will do 90 to 2 benched Pokemon. He gets out Golem level X. I go to Basculegion. I basically do a revenge attack here that also causes confusion, so that can be pretty helpful here. K Willie gets out the level ball with Golem trying to set up his board. We see the Phalanx, great Pokemon for getting more Pokemon like you see right there. He says he gets the Glimmet and the Bergmite. Glamora plays an interesting factor in this whole set because if I knock out any of his Pokemon with my EX, while he has a basic fighting or psychic attached to them, I don't take prize cards from those interactions. And so I get Mantine out evolved from Mantike, and then Basculegion is able to shuffle a bunch of energy in. Does 10 damage a time, so kind of get that going. I got Greninja going with a water energy, got 20 damage on Greninja. Delcatty doing power circulation. I'm able to get 4 energy there, but I don't get a ton of damage. I think I get 1 heads, but I definitely get some anti-EX flips. And again, Golem level X takes 30 less damage from attacks, so that's also really good for K Willie. And he ends up, I end up taking that game with the momentum needed from Darmanitan. And so now we are at game 3. He starts Regirock. And then I go to Kyogre this time. I did start Galarian Darumaka, but I'm going to go right to Kyogre, attach DCE, and then I realize, again, Regirock has an anti-EX attack, which does 90 damage for fighting in 2 colorless, so I have to be really careful. I stashed 2 water on Mantike. I do plan to start attacking with Mantine, which does 3 water for 110. You saw a blank code card there. Good old Brian showed us he got 2 blank cards recently, so it was pretty funny. In fact, if you watch throughout this set, me and K Willie kind of make jokes about how you don't hear audio here, so we could just do hand gestures for ambiguity, the Italian, flailing your hands in the air, right, stuff like that, which you can catch K Willie and me doing just as a joke. I do get Mantine out, and also Mantine, when it evolves from Mantine, gets Jumbo Fin, which means all of your water and colorless Pokemon have 2 less retreat, which is really strong. It helps pivot your momentum. My deck is running water and colorless Pokemon, and they all for sure appreciate that momentum there. We see Brooklet Hill, another stadium that benefits me and K. Willie. There's for sure 2 stadiums right now in Highlander that benefit water and fighting types. And there's quite a few Pokemon that cross over in the types, like Whiscash and Mamoswine. And now I'm getting out Darmanitan here. Also, yeah, Quagsire as well. No, Quagsire is fighting. Right. So you get out Darmanitan, again, trying to do some damage with 0 energy. He gets out Barbaracle, which says you can discard as many energy from your hand as you like, and it does 50 damage times the amount of energy discarded this way. Looks like he uses Lady to fetch some energy, gets a KO with Barbaracle. Thankfully, Barbaracle's Pokebody doesn't play into effect against me here, but it is strong. It basically says that if the player has their stadium in play, the opponent can attach special energy from their hand to their Pokemon. I get out Basculegion, and you see the Glamora on the bench, so now I have to be really careful with turning any of my Pokemon to EXs. I have Blastoise with 2 water. I play Frogadier here, again playing Basculegion, and then I play Guzma there, attaching the Float Stone to Wishy-Washy, and then playing Basculegion right here, trying to find some potential momentum there. And then getting some, he does Sand Swirl, doing some bench damage there, and also discarding my Float Stone on Wishy-Washy. We see looking like 2 prizes each. He gets the Sandygeist out. Barbaracle is loaded up though, and looks like he's 10 off on Barbaracle. This deck does play some healing with Mantine, Lana, and Super Potion. Here comes Greninja Break. I'm trying to get some bench damage here that are away from attacks. Trying to pierce potentially Golem like his Pokebody, but I do go after the bench here. Again, trying to load up Blastoise without any special energy. And then here comes Blastoise here, going to do Aqua Press, which does 30 plus 10 for every water energy on the board, but he's able to take it. And now we are going to game 4. I start Furfrou versus Phalanx. I go to Hisuian Basculin, and he goes Call for Family, get out Binnacle and Clement. Looking like he's loading up his bench, playing the Professor's Letter, which is really good with both Golem and Barbaracle. Golem has the same attack as Barbaracle, basically, but does 50 times instead of 40 times. Golem being a Stage 2 fighting type also can be a Lightning, and Barbaracle being a Stage 1 fighting, so there's a lot of flexibility you can do there, really bringing on the persistence too. I play Mega Blastoise, and I'm going to try to get some fast damage going here. He does have Barbaracle, which one-shots Mega Blastoise. I get out Darmanitan. I use Quick Ball to try to get energy in the discard. DCE on Furfrou. Furfrou's a pretty good wall. I have to be careful that Furfrou's weak to fighting, as K. Willie kind of notices. And he brings out Golem. Now, Golem has an attack for 1 fighting energy that basically does 20 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon, including the active. So he's looking to kind of do some pretty good damage spread there. I have the Eviolite on Mantine, which still works even when it evolves from Mantike. And looking like some water energy is played there. Attach 1 to Frogadier, and he, again, is just keeping some good momentum here with Golem. He is running Hisuian Avalugg, which means every time fighting energies are discarded on his side, I have to mill cards. And so in Highlander, milling even just 1 card can be detrimental because you only run 1 of each Pokemon. And your card count is only 3 max, so he could discard a Crucial DCE, he could discard Wartortle, and that could hurt some of my setups for sure. So you see the Grass Energy there. The story behind that is, while I was playing, I was running one of the promo Heart Gold Soul Silver Hollow Energies, water, and it is kind of curved to the point that it curved out the sleeve. I tried to uncurve it, but it just wasn't working. We didn't have any other water, so I swapped it with Grass, but just know that Grass Energy is water. I play Primal Kyogre there, and he's able to take that game. So we go to game 5. I play Froakie, trying to go for setting up my bench and trying to go for Bubble, which is a flip of heads. They're paralyzed, which could help stop Call for Family. I get Tails. He's able to start setting up Geodude, Regirock, and then you see Bergmite there. Pretty strong benches loaded on both sides. You go for Galarian Darmanitan. I'm trying to do continuous tumble here. It looks like I get a tiny bit of damage. I think I hit mostly tails because you only see damage counters on Geodude. I do have 1 damage counter on Delcatty from Power Circulation, and I play the Warp Point, making K-Willy switch first. He goes to Sandshrew. I go to Darmanitan. I play Colress for 10. And I just want to say I'm glad Expanded. I love Expanded, but one of the benefits, I guess, to it not being played as much right now is Colress should be going down in price a little bit. The cube is definitely looking to get more. Great supporter for sure. I really wish it'd be reprinted. I think the unfortunate part is Pokemon wants to do a full PR thing with that. They'd want to have to bring all of Team Plasma back, like in terms of the label. Anyway, we got Basculin, Hisuian Basculin in play. He's able to knock out Hisuian Basculin. I bring out Blastoise, load it up, but he does have Glimmora, which does make it a bit tough. This is just a fun, as K-Willy would say, neutral game. I do the double launcher and get 2 prizes anyway, but I have to be careful away from Glimmora's protection. He does have Barbaracle ready to swing, so I have to be careful there. He's got Hisuian Avalugg ready to go, and in the near future, you're going to see him do a pretty cool move with Glimmora. Glimmora is an interesting case like Shuckle, where they are fighting-type Pokemon that can inflict poison, which is really cool. And so we see the Sandshrew being brought up. There's a lot of damage on Mega Blastoise. We got 90 on it. He does get the knockout with the Glimmora Poison, but I bring up Greninja for the final KO. That was a wonderful set. I told Colin this, so this is Gage's deck that I built for him. He asked me to build a Blastoise center deck. Obviously, I had to put Furfro in there. I will say, again, I talked to Colin about this before recording. So it looked like there was 2 cards missing when I brought this that morning. And I put in a Float Stone and a Warp Point, not realizing there was already a Float Stone there. Now, the Float Stone I remember adding was the blue one. So thankfully, the one used on Wishy-Washy was the green one. Granting it a free retreat. And then the other one, obviously I swapped it in for Air Balloon when the list was done. Regardless, in the one time I used Floatstone on Wishy-Washy as a 3 retreat, I could have just Floatstoned the Frogadier, and it was going to get discarded next turn anyway. So thankfully, nothing like too bad desynced there. But yeah, Floatstone is a 1-of, and thankfully it could just be subbed out for Floatstone. And every Pokemon but Wishy-Washy has a 2 retreat or less.
Yeah, and talking to K-Willy while going over the footage, it's all good. We kind of deduced that even if Air Balloon was played instead of Floatstone and going on Frogadier, he discarded the tool anyway next turn. But yeah, we both talked about it. It's all good. And yeah, it was a great set overall. Looking forward to next month. See you around. And thanks again for everyone that tuned in. And once again, thank you for a great weekend to the Alanos Gateway community. See you around.